Americas that where we did not talk about Cuba, that I just conveniently avoided in any comments I made, but this is a different time and place. I would not be surprised, Jeff, long term, to see some shifts in our policy toward Cuba. That's my own personal opinion. Take it for what it's worth. But you clearly, I think, had a change dynamic within the Miami community on the issue. I think, as you well know, President Clinton started to make some careful, very small steps in that regard before the shoot down in Hemisphere, which totally changed the dynamic. Candidate Obama spoke very carefully about Cuba in the election, in the campaign. But I think my basic prediction would be near term, no. Intermediate, longer term, second term, if President Obama has a successful first term, if re-elected, I think in the art of possible, at least some shifts.
Roberta, Jim, do you want to say anything on this?
I think the only thing that I would mention is that there was recently, I think, a series of events that demonstrated really pretty tragically how little has changed in Cuba, despite some things that were attempted. After Hurricanes Gustav and Ike, the United States made, at this point, 5 offers of assistance to Cuba. The offers of assistance began at somewhere between $3 to $4 million. That was initial assistance, and have ended at significantly more than that, 10 times plus more than that. The offers of assistance came for the first time almost ever with no requirement that we send an assessment team, because we knew we weren't going to be allowed to do so. And although originally offered via NGOs, it was clear that as the offers of assistance got larger, because the magnitude of the damage within Cuba was so much greater, it was clear that the NGOs weren't going to be able to funnel this quantity of aid. And so the last 2 offers of assistance to the Cuban government were direct transfers to the government of Cuba, which is unprecedented. And it just was incredibly striking how quickly they were rejected by the Cuban government, repeatedly, including the Cuban